Today, I'm going to recap a 2013 Korean drama movie called The Attorney. This movie is based on the true story of Roh Moo-hyun, ex-president of South Korea in 2003 who only graduated from high school. He started his career as an attorney in real estate registration to make a better life for his family. Then, he jumped into tax specialist before being well known for his human rights activist career as attorney. So, let's find out together. It starts with Song, who resigned from his position as a judge and chooses to gain a lot of money. He only finished high school, but he believes that he could do anything. Then, he decides to start his career as an attorney to run a real estate registration in Busan. Firstly, he gets mocked by the other attorneys because he hands out business cards like some salesman. But it doesn't stop him. He loves his family so much and needs to make money to make a better life for them. Afterward, he changes range of practice to tax law specialist. Since then, the business grows rapidly, and he accomplishes making a better life with his family. Going back to the moment when Song met his firstborn, he didn't have enough money to pay the bills of the hospital. Moreover, he ran away from a shop because he refused to pay for the food. He went to a small bookstore and bought books instead to learn to be an attorney. Fast forward to the present, Song comes back to the restaurant with his family. He intends to meet the madam and her son, Woo, to pay off his debt. Unfortunately, the madam resists it and wants him to come more often instead. Then, Song brings his assistant and friends there every day. In 1981, Cha is promoted as police inspector. Due to the promotion, he is assisted to do a case in Busan with a prosecutor to stop college students from starting another riot. At the moment, there is no democracy as the president is very authoritarian, and many people use protest to change the system, including the college students. One day, Song reunites with his high school friends in Madam's shop. Song gets drunk and talks too much. Starting from one of his friends, the reporter mocks the government and its absurd law enforcement for sentencing the riot's maker. Song defends, who violate the law has to be sentenced, and it's such a stupid thing to think that the world would change by protesting. But the truth is, Song doesn't know that the media has been manipulating the masses. It doesn't show the fact about the real thing that happens in the field. So, they fight against each other. It doesn't stop there. Song argues with Woo about the same thing. Woo thinks that protest has to be done and that one day democracy will rise up. However, Song underestimates Woo, which leads Madam furious. One day, a prosecutor comes to meet Cha in Cha's hiding place. The prosecutor gives him the details about his duty. It is blaming college students as communists, then finishes the things up. However, another man shows up, Yoon. He is a lieutenant medic. His duty is giving emergency treatment and first aid. When the night comes, Cha and his detective barge into Woo's book club. They act rudely to take Woo and his friends into Cha's hiding place. They are locked up and being tortured in various cruel ways. Luckily, when Woo almost dies after being beaten, Yoon gives him emergency treatment. Yoon feels sorry when he realizes the situation and fools the detectives, so they leave Woo alone to rest. On the other hand, Song becomes famous and has a credible status as a tax specialist. The head of Heedong Construction, one of the best companies in the country, offers him a big case which would lead his business to national scope and gain more money. Then, Song finds out that Madam has closed her shop to search for Woo, who has been lost for days. Without taking time to think, Song orders his assistant to look for Woo. Turns out, Woo's disappearance is related to the communist case, which is a dangerous case in this era, as it is directly authorized by the government. In addition, the government is a very authoritarian and military regime. The assistant is warned to stay away from this case. One of Song's close relatives, Soonbae, an attorney who is also pro-democracy, reaches out to Song and asks him to take on a national security case. However, he refuses. The next day, Madam shows up and begs for help. Then, they meet Woo in prison. Unfortunately, Madam is shocked hysterically seeing Woo's body has a lot of bruises. Song realizes that Woo's case is the national security case that he has refused. Afterward, he asks Soonbae to explain the details of the case. Here, it is revealed that Wu and his friends have been charged with reading subversive literature with seditious content and praising anti-governmental groups. Song reads all the books they call subversive literature, but he finds nothing wrong with it. So, he comes to Soonbae to represent the case. On the day of the first trial, Song finds out the flaws of the real law system that are inappropriate. The law is not tough and fair enough to protect human rights. Even the judge offers himself to go easy if there are Song's relatives related to this case. On the first trial, Wu and his friends as defendants are being treated like real criminals. Song scolds the judge and urges him to set them free from the handcuffs and ropes, and also be seated. Then, prosecutor begins to use defendant's confession to charge them. However, the defendant's confession was composed by Cha's order during their torture. It is written that they read subversive literature. Song refuses the charge without evidence. However, the judge and the prosecutor, who are allies, prioritize the written evidence and Song can't defend the defendants yet. Outside, the counselor, who is also in Song's team to defend Wu, scolds him instead, saying that the national security cases are about negotiation penalties, not guilt or innocence. If the trial is truly to uphold the law, then their president should be convicted instead, according to the law for military insurrection. In the second trial, the prosecutor comes up with a witness who confirms the books as subversive literature. He claims that the books are about justifying communism beliefs and could be a chance to influence the readers. However, Song knocks them down with his evidence, a telegram from the British Embassy to readers in Korea. They state that the books are not text which advocates communist beliefs and encourages readers in Korea to study it. Then, Song drags all the books which are called subversive literature. He mentions that all of them are listed and being recommended by the most popular university in South Korea. It is clearly revealed that the trial is full of nonsense and the defendants are just victims of unjust and cruel public authority. Outside, Song finds out the place where the defendants are tortured. It bursts him to tears when imagining how bad Cha interrogates them. However, Cha immediately appears and beats him several times. He kicks Song brutally just like how he did to the defendants. He believes that the war seems over because of men like him, who are risking his life to catch the riot makers. He helps the government avoid the war in South Korea, so they will control the people and maintain the peace instead. The next trial, Wu tries his best to tell his testimony. Sometimes, the police did not feed him because Wu threw up what he ate after the police tortured him. So, on the days he got tortured, the police did not feed him. However, Wu claims the worst thing that he experienced is resentment. When he makes up lies on a statement, it would come back to him with more lies on it. Unfortunately, the trial situation becomes uncontrolled. The defendant's family notice the military regime that needs to be banished, and Song files Cha to give his testimony. Right after that, everything around Song becomes uncontrollable. The head of Hedong Construction threatens Song to back off from the case and work exclusively with him. Song refuses the offer fearlessly and calls off his chance to go nationwide. Song is mocked and hated by people who refuse communism. However, the reporter comes back to his side after seeing that Song defends the truth. In the fourth trial, Song gets another social pressure. Cha's detectives fill the room, making the defendant's family unable to attend the trial. They mock Song because he only graduated from high school. Then, they argue about the nation. Song says that the law defines the nation. South Korea's sovereignty lies with the people. All authority is granted by the people, and the people are the nation. Unfortunately, the law and the current situation are not aligned. People are arrested and tortured for defending humanity. Cha refuses the charge that he tortures the defendants to make confession, and it gets Song furious. Then, the counselor blames Song for wrecking the trials. Furthermore, mistreatment towards Song doesn't stop there. Song's practice is accused of tax evasion, and his office has been wrecked. On top of that, someone threatens his son's safety, which leads to his wife asking him to quit the case. The next day, one of Cha's men seems to be around Song's office. It makes Song uncomfortable and hesitant to go out. Suddenly, someone sends him a lunch with a note. He immediately disguises himself as the food deliverer to meet the sender, Yoon, the military medic. He offers himself to be the witness of Cha's brutal interrogation in Woo's final trial. Then, Song arranges a plan. He threatens the judge to hold a press conference if the judge refuses the witness. Soonbae and reporter help him out by inviting foreign press, so the media cannot manipulate the case. On the final trial, Yoon comes in and gives his confession. At first, he was assigned to an anti-communism investigation. He continues his testimony of Cha's ways to torture the defendants: assault, waterboarding, electrical torture, days of sleep deprivation, and many more. Song states that the trial is supposedly about the violation of human rights, not national security. All the defendants of this case plead as not guilty. It leaves the defendants and their family burst into tears. After realizing the situation, the counselor finally apologizes for his disposition and for neglecting the duty to fight for human rights. Meanwhile, the prosecutor is silenced and disheartened to win the case. Tragically, Cha shows up and helps the prosecutor to flip the situation easily. Yoon is accused of absence without official leave, and prosecution will charge him with perjury. Everyone is shocked and refuses the charge. Suddenly, the military prosecutors barge in to arrest and sue him under the military law. Song gets furious and urges the judge to call off the military prosecutors. The trial situation becomes uncontrolled and is postponed. Song feels disappointed, miserable, and hopeless. He fails to save Woo and apologizes to Madam. Unexpectedly, Madam soothes him. She thanks him for trying his best. However, counselor and Soonbae show up. The judge insists on Woo's release on parole in 2 years, which is fewer than the sentence at the beginning, 3 years. The prosecutor agreed on terms that they don't file for appeal. In 1987, Song becomes an activist and incites some riots. He fights for democracy, for the unjustly killed students. However, he is arrested and interrogated. He sees it as an honor for him because he is an attorney. He says that the true duty of an attorney is to lead the people in such unjust, unlawful times. In the end, Song gets some charges in his trial. He is accused of planning and leading various illegal gatherings, extensively violating the law on assembly and demonstration. However, 99 out of 142 Busan lawyers are present in Song's trial. It seems that Song has managed to change the attorneys and lawyers in South Korea to show more concern about human rights, which pleases him and his wife to tears. Years after the trial, in real life, Song or Roh Moo-hyun became the president of South Korea in 2003 to 2008. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.